What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr., and I just want to see if Edgar Berlanga is good for more than one.
What's up, boxing fans? This is Paulie Malignaggi here on ProBox TV, and my curiosity is, will Edgar Berlanga live up to the hype?
Hi, it's Antonio Tarver, and I'll tell you why they've chosen the perfect opponent for Edgar Berlanga.
Hey, this is Mike Goldberg. We are set for the fight guide for this week. We're going to break down some big matchups. Roy Jones Jr. is going to rap. Antonio is going to pontificate. And Paulie is going to break it down in multiple languages. Here we go.
The podcast on ProBox TV, the boxing channel.
Fight guide time. Returning to the ring this weekend, Jaime Munguia, and of course, Brooklyn's Puerto Rican, none other than Edgar Berlanga. Roy Jones, is this kid for real? 19-0, 16 knockouts.
He for real for one round, that's for sure. He got a bunch of them out there in one round. Now, we don't know how for real he is after that one round, but for that one round, he the truth. So, I mean, it depends on how long we plan on going. I mean, him against anybody with one round, I bet on him because he here for one round. That's been proven.
Yes.
We ain't seen nobody do nothing like this since Mike Tyson days, you know?
Yep.
So for one round, he the truth. If you can get past that one round, then we got to figure it out.
All right, Brooklyn, Puerto Rican. This is kind of natural segue, not the Puerto Rican part, but the Brooklyn
he's
part.
New York, you know,
to you,
from the,
yeah,
from the Bronx, Bronx. You know, 5 boroughs, all good, but nonetheless, yeah. I mean, I don't know how to top what Roy just said, man. I mean, he's been spectacular in the first round, and he's left a lot to be desired afterwards. And the question marks are, can he kind of put it together? Is he that Mike Tyson-esque type of guy, that Edwin Valero type of guy, with the guys that were continuing these kind of knockout streak power moments as they excelled in level of competition, as the level of competition was raised. His last few fights tell us he doesn't have that kind of power of a Valero or a Tyson as you raise the level of competition. So the question marks remain, is he strong enough? Can he box well enough? He's held for one round, as Superman said, but after that, there's a lot of question marks.
Well, the Colombian, who is his opponent, has 27 victories, 23 of those by knockout, so it could be a 1 or 2 round fight, but can Angulo give him a challenge, Antonio?
I'm not sure. He does bring some experience to the table. You know, with his, I think, 23 knockouts, if he hits you, he can hurt you. But do you have to be stuck in quicksand to get hit by him? So if you're moving the target, that might make it difficult for him to land that punch. But I think this is a perfect opponent for Edgar to get back on that knockout streak. But how he does it is something that I'm going to be looking for.
Why is it the perfect opponent for him to get back on that knockout streak?
I just think he don't have a lot of movement. Gotcha. He's a aggressive face-first type of fighter. He's not going to give you the feints, the slips. He's not going to give you the technical boxing. He's going to try to, fight with his heart, his emotions. So that's a perfect opponent for Edgar. He can meet him with all those things, but I just want to see how he sets it up. Is he thinking in there? Is he trying to do combination punches? Is he trying to be something other than just a puncher? So it's a little bit of the foundation I think he's going to have to work on, and if he's going to compete with the best. But right now we're going to see, has he improved at all?
You talked about Edgar, great for one round, maybe knock out once in a while in the second. So with that in mind, Roy, is it too early to ordain him the next Puerto Rican great?
Way too early.
Way too early.
Yes, because, I mean, if we stopped right now and started all his fights from round 2, we ain't going to see quite as much as we saw in round 1. Now, we love round 1. Now, if we can get that added, get round 1 extended to about round 5 and 6, then we got ourselves something. Right. Right now, we still stuck on round 1. Let's see what happens once we learn how to get past that round 1 and carry that round 1 into round 4, round 6, round 8. Then we got an exciting Puerto Rican star.
So who is the guy to take him that deep, Paulie?
I mean, we'll see. The thing about this opponent is that he's just as much of a puncher as
like
Berlanga is.
said,
And I've seen in my life, kind of obscure guys, obscure punchers from Colombia and South America in general come up and pull off upsets by knockout. You know, I can remember there was a big a prospect in New York in the early 2000s. I was training in my gym named Tacumbo Olajide. He was Michael the Silk Olajide's brother, and he was knocking everybody out. They brought up an undefeated guy from Colombia named Epifanio Mendoza. People don't really hear about him. He came in and knocked out Olajide in 1 round. That was the end of the Olajide story. You know what I mean? I've seen... who was the guy that got knocked out by, I forget it, Edison Miranda. Edison Miranda came up from Colombia with not a lot of fanfare. He gained his fanfare when he got here. He started knocking everybody out. So this could be a good old-fashioned punch-out with Berlanga and his opponent this weekend. But it's like Antonio said, it could be the right opponent because he's got him in front of him, but it could also be the right opponent and knock him out too. Either way, I do think that we need to see some more wrinkles from Berlanga besides just trying to get that one-punch knockout. You know, punching in combination, learning how to set traps so that you can land your power, and that's all the more important because this is a thinking man's game no matter what. And I say game, but in reality, you don't play boxing, you do boxing. So I think we're gonna need to see a bit more cerebral Berlanga. I don't mind the aggression. I think it makes him exciting. I think it's who he is, it's his reputation. But I think we're gonna have to see a little bit more of a cerebral side to Berlanga, even if he's going to get these knockouts, because as he raises the level of opposition, it's going to get more dangerous if he just brings a punch and nothing cerebral to the table.
Now, I do want to mention, don't forget our next live card, June 24th. We do feature a Puerto Rican champion, Mark Anthony Barriga. He will take on Jonathan Gonzalez. That will be our main event right here at ProBox TV when we get to do it live again. Get to see some of our future stars. It's going to be great. The launch was outstanding. It's just going to get better and better. So, to Paulie's point, he needs to be challenged. He needs to be tested. He needs to get rounds before we can truly judge his greatness or future greatness.
Right, and I think a lot of that has to also come within the training camp. He's going to have to be sparring with champion or contender type fighters, you know, those styles that he struggled with, and then you can put him under the microscope and see how he's advancing then put him on the big stage.
Sure.
You know, but the matchmaking has been great thus far. But they know they're going to have to take some chances. They just want to make sure they got ready to accept those chances and move forward.
You're tuned into the ProBox TV Podcast.
Well, we talked about the 5 boroughs. It's at Madison Square Garden, Hulu Theater, ESPN on the 11th. Also on the 11th on DAZN. In Anaheim, California, the Honda Center super middleweight matchup. And Jaime Munguia, I mean, 39-0, 31 knockouts. Is he a guy you're a fan of, Roy?
Yeah, I've been a fan of Munguia for a while. He was always very, very big for a junior middleweight. He held a junior middleweight title for a while. Now we got to see what he brings to the middleweight table. Like you said earlier, we've been wondering what's taking him so long to become champion at middleweight. Is it a problem, or you having a problem making weight? What is it? Because we don't see why, if you was already the junior middleweight champ, why you didn't go up to middleweight looking to become champ immediately. I don't understand that. So when I have guys that are over 24 years old and they're not telling me about when they're going to fight for a title, I have an issue with that.
Especially ex-world champions as well.
Yeah.
Munguia is an ex-world champion at a super welterweight. This fight in particular interests me. You know, I know there's a big demand for Munguia to get the big names and the big fighters, and of course, you know, I'm one of those people that's wondering, you know, when is he going to fight these bigger names in and around his weight class? He's always in the conversation, but then the opponents are something else. He had a problem with Dennis Hogan, right? And Dennis Hogan is a little bit of a crafty European type of fighter. So I think this is an interesting matchup. Jimmy Kelly is not the best middleweight you can find, but he's crafty. He's got that European boxing style that has given trouble to Munguia in the past.
And he earned his opportunity, Paul.
Earned his opportunity right here on ProBox
TV,
when he beat Kanat Islam. Here's the issue with Munguia. He's exciting when you take the fight to him and when he doesn't have to find you, right? Gabe Rosado, who is a battle-tested warrior and has been in with all the big names and is a more recognizable name, Munguia fought him and dominated him, right? So we know what he can do when he can find you, or if you make yourself easier to find. No matter how good you are, he can deal with you, right? Or he has a very good capabilities in those circumstances. But when you become a little bit crafty, he's got a little bit more problems. And people may say, oh no, he beat Saddam Ali for the world title at super welterweight. Yeah, but Saddam was a welterweight, and he just happened to have that title because he beat a fading Miguel Cotto. Saddam was in his whole career a welterweight fighter, So he was a little bit of a blown up welterweight there. But when you've got a crafty guy that's his size, he's shown, as we saw in the Hogan fight, which was very controversial, an inability to adapt. So I like this fight. I like the Jimmy Kelly fight for that reason. Munguia is young, and he's got an opportunity to show us that he's learned how to deal with this style. He can deal with this style, and he's ready to move on. Ready to get moving on up. You know what I'm saying? Like George Jefferson would say. You know,
Yep.
And get to the bigger names in the middleweight division.
I want to say something about Jimmy Kelly, though, in his fight against Kanat Islam, which we called here at ProBox TV. He took the fire in the aggression away, being stylistically not perfect, but stylistically different, and not getting into the firefight that Islam wanted. Could Jimmy Kelly do that again?
That's what I was thinking, but obviously they're definitely matchmaking him carefully. But, Jimmy Kelly also have big dreams, and they showed us.
It's the biggest fight of his career.
He showed us that on ProBox TV right here when he came in as the underdog, fought an undefeated fighter, even though that fighter had a long layoff. But he was the underdog in that fight, and he surprised everybody, even us, by winning that decision pretty handedly. So he's on a emotional roller coaster right now. He thinking, shit, one more win over another undefeated guy, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really want to give these type of fighters no early round successes because it's going to be hard to turn them off once they get and feel as if, hey, I'm in this fight. I might have a chance to win. So we're going to look for that early. But I believe the 39-0, like Roy was saying, in this generation, you got guys are fighting for the title within 10 to 12 fights. Yeah. I mean, so obviously his camp, they're doing it the old school way, the old style. They're getting him all these tune-ups, and then finally gonna throw him in there and see how he can swim. But when you look at the junior middleweight and middleweight division, all those names hopping around there, we should have had this guy in a major fight by now, I believe. And it's just a matter of time. And I think the Jimmy Kelly fight gonna show us exactly where he's at.
So is Golden Boy not ready to show us exactly where he's at? Is that an accurate statement, Roy?
I really don't know. I just know, like he just said, Jim Kelly on the road.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly said, could not. Now he's saying,
yes,
he's saying, try me, Jaime. You want this? Come get me, So I'm more into what Jimmy Kelly gonna do right now because he the one that act like he got something to prove,
Right.
So.
But we've seen matchups gone bad here in the last 6-8 weeks, and that brings up my point. So if Golden Boy says, all right, we'll feed you Jimmy Kelly before we get Triple G's got Canelo or Charlo or Eubank or Lara, Jimmy Kelly, if we get in round 2 or 3 and all of a sudden the fire from that big gunslinger has been avoided, Jimmy Kelly's confidence, Paulie, is just going to grow. And will Jaime become frustrated?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the rhymes. Roy used to be a rapper, bro. So I can't give you. Let's not forget. Y'all must have forgot. Roy used to rap himself into the ring.
I think he still is.
I can't give you the rhymes, but I'll tell you this. Yeah, as Antonio said, you want to start the fight fast if you're Munguia, because if you give a chance for Jimmy Kelly to gain some momentum coming off the confidence building win that he just got off the undefeated Kanat Islam, he's just going to be feeling himself, getting to more of a rhythm. And Jimmy Kelly is a rhythm fighter. He's a boxer first. He's not a slugger. So I think it's imperative for Jaime Munguia to get off to a fast start and take away the confidence of Jimmy Kelly. And if he can do that, he may even be able to get him out of there early. But if he allows Kelly kind of get into a flow and get into a rhythm, Kelly might start to inherit some of the old confidence that he got in his last fight and start to bring it into this fight, and then it's gonna be an uphill climb for Munguia. So it's gonna be interesting, especially with the question marks with whether Munguia has learned to adapt and understand this style. Kelly has lost to Hogan, so Kelly's like Hogan light. So you couldn't really deal that well with Hogan himself. So we're gonna give you Hogan light in Jimmy Kelly, but a confident Jimmy Kelly, and we'll see if you've learned from your experiences and are ready for the bigger fighters.
Well, we witnessed it firsthand when Jimmy Kelly started to gain his confidence. So let's say everything goes well for Jaime. Obviously, Triple G, Canelo, they're going to go again in September. But you got Charlo, Eubank, Lar. It's got to be the next step, right, Antonio?
You would think. You would think, because those guys need a shot too. Lara, he's out there. You know, we spoke about that last week as well. I think that'll be a good fight. But he got options. But give one of those bigger names guys a shot, man. I think put yourself on the map so that you also can be in positions for one of these super fights, you know. And that's what it's all about. We want to just prove that we're the best at the end of the day.
Munguia ready for those challenges, Roy?
I think that's why they got Kelly in there, to find out if he's really ready for it, because they thought Kanat might be ready, but Kanat just simply could not. So we don't know. That's what Kelly's going to hear to ask. Kelly's here to ask that question, is he ready?
We'd like to see some rounds is what we'd like to see.
We do, but we want to see impressive rounds.
Yeah.
We don't want to just see rounds. We saw rounds with Kanat, but they weren't impressive. We want to see impressive rounds by Munguia against Kelly.
Munguia and getting through some deep waters?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is he going to sink or is he going to swim when the fight gets away from him? Because with the fast finishes, Paulie, we haven't really seen him have to deal with that in-ring adversity.
But we dealt with, we saw him, in a fast-paced fight with Gabe Rosado.
Yeah.
I think when the pace, I don't think Munguia's conditioning is an issue.
I'm just saying, these last two rounds went horribly for me. I got to dig in. I got to adjust.
Yeah, of course. And that's sort of where the question marks come in. I don't think anybody's going to outgut Munguia or outfight Munguia. That's Munguia's kind of fight. But we're noticing Munguia has trouble with thinkers. People can outthink Munguia. And that's where we need to see the combination of things that Munguia has kind of evolved, the kind of fighter Munguia needs to have evolved into. A guy who can bring that pressure, bring that action, but yet still understand and think his way through it so that he can have success while bringing that action and doesn't walk into shots and is an exciting loser. You know, we want to see him kind of morph the two into success.
Which is why now we understand why Jim Kelly is a good opponent. Because if Jim Kelly get a little confidence in that belly, things can get real smelly.
Right. Wow, you are on fire.
So we gotta see. No, I'm just saying though.
Roy's going to the studio.
I'm just saying. But he that dude. But he that dude though. You understand me? So now I can understand why they want him to fight Kelly. Because if he don't go do what he got to do to Kelly, Kelly gonna do it to him.
And it's gonna be very important that Munguia stay ahead, just like we saw.
You need to wrap some.
Just like we saw Haney.
You need to wrap some of your statement.
Yeah, but
not wrap up, wrap.
I write it.
You are avoiding that, and I like it.
Let me explain myself. I don't know why I do it or how I do it, but I write and rhyme.
I heard that.
I can't say a rhyme.
That's nice, but you write one. That's nice.
Writer and me, none of the above. I'm horrible.
Yeah, we can make an album.
There you go.
I write all my ad libs as well. You know. Paulie, you are the ad-lib king.
But I can't rhyme.
That's probably true. But you can speak 4 or 5 languages, some of them fluently. Still working on English, though, right? What about our guy? What about Barriga? What about our guy in the 24th? Exciting matchup for us in a main event to have a championship on the line. And in the mix, in the talks, right?
Yeah, of course. You know, this is what part of the ProBox TV moniker. You know, we want to bring you good fighters and great fights. This is a world championship fight, smaller weights, but nonetheless a world championship fight, a competitive fight. You know, between Barriga and Bad Boy Barriga and who's the Gonzalez,
the Gonzalez,
WBO 105-pound champion. You know, so we're bringing you championship fights of some manner. We're gonna continue to bring the level of quality fights to you. I think people that have already tuned into our first show understand and see what kind of quality we intend to bring to the boxing fans. We got this content here on the podcast as well. So this is going to be the home of boxing overall in every manner, way, shape, or form. And this is why we hope that more of you continue to join us. It's $1.99 a month, $18 for the year. More of you continue to join us for our live events where you get this great team right here. And of course, you get these podcasts where we just continue to give you the opinionated versions of us.
I got one more question. I was out the country last week, so when this stuff was made, I really wasn't sure. Is the semifinals of that
quarterfinal
quarterfinal is the quarterfinal?
Chance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that happening this same night?
No, August.
Okay.
August is the plan right now.
Because if y'all's gonna give me that again,
yeah. Oh, tell me,
yeah. That right
We're
there.
gonna give it to you. They just gotta rest up.
That's what I live for.
Yes, and you know what? Yeah,
that's
we're
what I
gonna
live
showcase
for.
some of our future stars, but that was one of the greatest nights overall in boxing to see the smiles on all three of your faces, especially you, Superman.
Yes.
That you are having as much fun as you've had throughout your career.
I mean, because that's a way to ensure what we're looking for here on ProBox.
That's it.
That's a way you throw one bone out there in the middle of 8 hungry dogs and you see who finished out on top.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
That's great, man.
That's the way to do it. And now it is. Now it's down to 4 hungry dogs. But that one is a little later this summer. Roy Jones, Paulie Malignaggi, Antonio Tarver. Who is better than this big three right here? ProBox TV Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, check us out. YouTube. We are here for you. And Roy will rap for free.
No.
Never miss an episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. ProBox TV.